What is up, Inland Sports Show. Someday soon, we will be back in the Mike's Fitness Equipment Studio. We miss being back at Teen Vision TV 16 with our guys, Johnny Nunez and the whole crew. Man, you don't know what you have until it's gone, right? I know it's a cliche, but it's certainly the truth, man. We have such a great team behind the scenes. I miss the camaraderie with those guys for one, but man, the show just looks so smooth when we're in the studio, and man, I'm missing those guys. So, well, look around. You're stuck into my living room, and I got kids home on quarantine. Like everyone's going nuts. So I got homework over here. We got messes over here. But the show will carry on. So welcome to a very special Inland Sports Show. We do appreciate you tuning in. Things are hopefully getting back to normal sooner than we thought. And again, like I like to preface this by everything I say when I try to give my recommendations, but I'm not a medical expert. I don't claim to be, but it sounds like we are on an upswing in terms of turning a corner on the coronavirus, trying to get back to normal. I will say this, I'm not going to get on my soapbox for very long because I don't want to be that guy, but I will say this, that you get on social media and there's a lot of people, everyone's got an opinion. A lot of the information that is shared on social media is completely incorrect. Fortunately, I've been able to, I work part-time, or I work partly for the County of Riverside on their public information team. So I'm privy to a little bit of information, and so much that I see on social media just from random people, saying, oh, the high school football season, it's never going to happen, and this and that. It's like, guys, slow your roll. Listen, I'm not an expert, but things are getting better. There's no reason to be so drastic about making decisions for things that'll take place months from now. So please, if anything, I know you're all going to have your opinions. I know you're all going to be experts on social media, but I just see so much wrong information being shared and spread around. So anyways, if anything, just keep a positive attitude. We all want to see football in the fall, whether it's high school, college, whatever the case may be. Let's just all pull in the same direction, stay positive, and hopefully, week 0, August 21st will roll around, and we'll have a big slate of high school football to cover. So speaking of football, that's what we want to get to today on this very special Inland Sports Show. It's going to look and sound maybe a little bit differently than normal, but here's the plan. So we're going to roll out our exclusive interview with former Centennial High School running back J.J. Taylor out of the University of Arizona, the Wildcats. He is leaving the U of A. He's leaving Tucson. He's going to take his talents to the NFL. So we have an exclusive interview with J.J. Taylor as he prepares to hear his name in the NFL draft. Yeah, the NFL draft begins a week from tomorrow, so it's next week. So J.J. Taylor's life is going to change in a big way. He looks like a surefire, NFL draft pick. You look at all those mock drafts, and it's hard to say what round he might go in, but he's one of the highly touted running backs in this draft. So we'll talk to Centennial High School running back J.J. Taylor just a little bit later in the show. But right now, we want to roll out our interview with the great Jayden Daniels. Now, Jayden Daniels, of course, broke basically every single record in the CIF Southern section in terms of passing touchdowns, passing yards, you name it, he broke it. He's now at Arizona State. He started last year as a true freshman for Herm Edwards. And, I'd been thinking about Jayden for a while and thinking, we need to get caught up with him. He's going to have his sophomore campaign. And again, we're hoping and praying and believing that we're going to have football in the fall. He's going to have a big sophomore year out there in Tempe. But I was thinking, man, we got to catch up with Jayden. And then I was in the car and I heard on the radio, Colin Cowherd had Herm Edwards, the head football coach for the Sun Devils. He had Herm on the show, and they were talking about Jayden Daniels. And Colin Cowherd even went out there and said that he thinks there's a good chance that in 2022, so 2 seasons from now, Jayden Daniels could be the number 1 pick in the NFL draft. That's how much Colin Cowherd believes in Jayden Daniels and, of course, the coaching staff at ASU led by Herm Edwards. So here's our exclusive interview with the great Jayden Daniels out of Cajon High School as he gets set for his sophomore campaign at ASU. And now join us here on the Inland Sports Show. He's been one of our favorites. Now a special quarantined edition of an interview with one of our favorite guys, Jayden Daniels, the former Cajon High School football star who is now at Arizona State. And first off, Jayden, how are you doing? How's your family members? Everyone just kind of hunkered down, being safe and healthy?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Family, is staying away, trying to stay out the way. Let all this blow over so we could go back to living a regular life.
So how do you get ready for the next football season? I mean, have you been in contact at least with maybe your coaches and they give you workouts you can do on your own or plays to look over? Like what are some of the things that you can do to get ready for the next football season at Arizona State?
Yeah, our head strength and conditioning coach sends us workouts. We try to do in-home workouts for everybody with not the material that we have back at school. We always do Zoom meetings 4 times a week with our coaches. So, just still trying to get prepared. But basically everything is on us to get ready for the football season this year.
Is it a challenge? I mean, is it kind of nice being home, but also it's kind of a challenge, right? Being away from the coaches and your teammates?
Yeah, you get to spend this time with family, but, you just come back home, you're away from football. It's really not ideal to have this much time off away from football.
So here you are. You find yourself, back home, trying to get ready for a football season, and is it kind of feel like you're kind of back in high school almost? Like, did you ever think you'd be back in your bedroom and having your mom wake you up and maybe do your laundry and stuff like that?
Yeah, it's kind of how that feel. In high school, you're kind of getting ready for football season. Trying to stay in shape. Once you get to college, you're always working out every time, every day. So, just coming back home, I never thought that it would come to this point.
Well, Jayden, let me ask you this, because I was listening to Colin Cowherd, who has a national sports show, and he was saying today he had Herm Edwards on, your head coach, and they were talking about the quarterbacks, in this draft with obviously Tua and Joe Burrow, and the next year Trevor Lawrence at Clemson, and Colin Cowherd, who's got a huge audience. There's a lot of people that listen to this guy. He was telling Herm Edwards that he thought you could be the number 1 pick in the NFL draft in 2022. Like, what's kind of your first thoughts? When you hear something like that from a guy like Colin Cowherd when he's talking to your head coach Herm Edwards.
Just blessed to be in the situation, but I feel like I got a lot more to show. I only have 1 year playing. Like those guys have been playing consistently good, like the Trevor Lawrence, Justin Fields. Like they play consistently good for multiple years. But I know that, just trusting Coach Herman, what they have, that if I just keep playing how I play and put myself in the right positions with the right people, now I'll be in a position in a couple of years to be able to be blessed to be the number 1 pick in the draft or just be drafted, period.
So you start as a true freshman at Arizona State, which rarely happens in college football, period. What are some of the things coming off your freshman year that you want to see from yourself just improve this upcoming fall for the Sun Devils?
First it's just win more games. Freshman season, we could have won more than 8 games. Just become a better leader, really. That's on the field, off the field. Last year I wasn't really asked to lead that much, just coming in. Year that he's telling me that's my team, so I gotta step up and become that leader, be that role model on and off the field for people that I look up to, and all eyes are always on me.
Now, you've always been obviously one of the best players on the team, and you're a star player. And maybe do you feel like you're one of those guys who kind of leads by example, or are you having to kind of develop a voice? Because everyone always obviously looks to the quarterback to be the leader and be the vocal guy. And is that something you're kind of still developing, the more vocal side of it, as opposed to leading by example out there?
Yeah, my whole life just been the lead by example guy. But as I get older, you got to be times. I can always stay true to myself, but there has to be times where I have to speak up and get that voice. And every time I say something, like the team's going to listen to me because you're the quarterback and they just respect you.
Well, Jaden, so, we talked about some of the things that you can do now to get ready for the upcoming season, even though you're not on campus in Tempe, you're not around your coaches and teammates for that matter. Is it going to be a little strange? Do you feel like it's going to be like trying to play catch up whenever you do be able to get back to Tempe? Do you feel like, man, we're going to have to put a lot of work into a short amount of time to get ready for that first game?
Yeah, I mean, that's why they give so much to us right now. We got to prepare in the right way because, like you said, as soon as we get back to campus, it is going to be a catch-up. We got a month and a half, 2 months before fall camp, and then we got like 2.5 months, 3 months before our first game if we was to go back in June. It just depends what time we go back.
Well, Jaden, I always appreciate your time. Thank you for always making time for us here on the Inland Sports Show. We love tracking your career. And, here I was running some of my essential tasks out there. I was going out there and I heard Colin Cowherd say, man, I think Jaden Daniels might be the number one pick in 2022. My ears perked up and I'm like, dude, I got to check in with Jaden Daniels, see what he's up to, man. So I'm glad you're doing well. I'm glad, you're getting ready for your sophomore year, man. And don't be a stranger. Let's talk again soon. I do appreciate your time.
Always appreciate you guys.
All right, that's Jaden Daniels, Arizona State quarterback, formerly of Cajon High School, joining us here on the Inland Sports Show. A very special quarantined interview. Thanks, Jaden. All right, so that was the great Jaden Daniels. Great freshman season at Arizona State. Obviously one of the top freshman quarterbacks in the entire country. Now getting set for his sophomore season with Arizona State. And again, high praise from his head coach, Herm Edwards, who was a longtime NFL player, NFL coaching great. So to boast about his young quarterback like that makes us all pretty proud here in the Inland Empire, especially those at Cajon High School. We got to see him up close and personal for 4 years. People forget he was a 4-year starter for the Cajon Cowboys. Huge sophomore year. Then came back his senior year and just basically rewrote the record book for everybody in the CIF Southern section. So we're going to take a break here on the Inland Sports Show. When we come back, we still have our exclusive interview with J.J. Taylor, the former Centennial High School running back. Took his talents to the University of Arizona, happens to be the rival of Arizona State, right, in the great state of Arizona. So we're going to hear from J.J. Taylor as he's getting ready for the NFL draft come next week, one of the top tailbacks in the history of Centennial High School, also known as, well, they have Tailback U, right, which used to be USC for a long time. I guess you could say Centennial High School's Tailback High because they just crank out the running backs year after year after year. So we will hear from J.J. Taylor. That's still coming up on the show. We're also going to check in with a friend of our show, one of the guys who really helps us behind the scenes. He also works for the Sirius Radio with one of the Pac-12 shows, sports talk shows. So we're going to check in with our guy, Steven Kono. Kono's going to join us on the show as well. We're going to hear from him, see what they're doing with the Pac-12, because, again, we're all having to be creative. We're all going to have to be innovative to come up with sports content. We're doing it here on the Inland Sports Show. We're going to do a show every single week. There's always stuff to talk about. We're going to do it. But even at the Pac-12 network level, got to find stuff to talk about. You got to find some content. So we're going to check in with Kono as well, and J.J. Taylor, Centennial High School running back, right around the corner. We'll be back with more Inland Sports Show.
Billy here from Spoiled in Riverside. Just opened up our new location off the 91 in Arlington in Riverside. Come check us out and get spoiled for a change.
thank God, first of all. I thank the great people that I've got around me that help support me, the people that work for me. As I started, if it wasn't for the people around me, we probably wouldn't be here right now, but I've got a great staff. I've got great people that do stuff for us outside the store, and we've been very, very fortunate. Our service is impeccable, and we just keep trying to get better every year. We can do online stuff for your teams, as well as, like I said, the screen printing, the embroidery. We also have 3 women that do extra sewing for us, like tackle tool on uniforms, or the bling or rhinestones for different shirts for the ladies. That's why we have certain racks just for certain schools, and the fun about that is that it turns into other schools that may come in here that aren't as close, that we can do stuff for them as well. We've had very, very good customers throughout the years, and it's just been a blast.
You know, I mean, I always tell, my student athletes that, hey, gains are gains. It's everyone's where they're at, and all you have to worry about is making those small improvements. I see, I've been doing this for 10 years now, and I see kids who start off, slow and they end up being really good, and talented student athletes, and I see others who start off really fast and they end up, petering out. And a lot of that has to do with, the hype of being a young student athlete and having all this shine, all this glory, and then you stop working. So, and I hate that. I feel like that's one of the things as a coach you have to, really hammer into your athletes that, it's a journey, and starting in high school or even making it to college, it's just all part of the journey, but not the destination. The destination is growth. Destination is to keep moving forward. What I do want to see is I want to see them grow. I want to see them grow academically. I want to see them grow physically. And as long as we get that growth, they're gonna see some change. They're gonna be better off than where they were, and it's gonna set them on a good path, athletically and academically throughout life. So if you think you're ready to grow, if you think you're ready to move out of your comfort zone, then come train here at Boost. Because I tell you right now, it's not a place to be comfortable. We're gonna push you. We're gonna help you grow. But if you think you're ready for it, come check us out.
The Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Spoiled. Quick, quality oil change. Spoil yourself and your car at Spoiled. Kin Sporting Goods. They have all of your sporting gear needs, Letterman's jackets, and team uniforms. Boost Performance Training with Coach Ray Bass. Athletes of all levels and all sports are going to Boost Performance Training in Corona. Mike's Fitness Equipment. Check out the new storeroom on La Cadena. Quality fitness equipment at affordable prices. Mike's Fitness Equipment. And JoJo's Grill-A-Dog, located in the Mountain Grove Shopping Center in Redlands. Let's be frank, not all dogs are created equal. JoJo's Grill-A-Dog. Welcome back to the Mike's Fitness Equipment Studio. It's the Inland Sports Show. And welcome back to the Inland Sports Show, quarantine style, safer at home, right? You got to maintain your space, keep your space. What is it? Man, I already forgot. I've been repeating this over and over and over. You've got to stay in place, maintain your space, and cover your face. And the sooner we do that and do it well, shout out to Aquinas Mama out there, Julia, watching. She knows the drill. If we can all do our part, we all have a part to play, then we get high school football hopefully in the fall, and it sure looks like it. Again, I'm not a medical expert, but signs are tilting in our favor. I think we're going to have football in the fall. Will it look a little bit different? Will they only let so many fans in? I don't know. I mean, some of those things might be in place come August. I don't know, but I think there's a good chance that we will have high school football and college football, local college football in the fall. Well, as we promised, so we're going to hear from J.J. Taylor now here on the Inland Sports Show. Again, he was a Centennial High School great. He went on to the University of Arizona, and he's going to hear his name called in the NFL Draft coming up next week. We got an exclusive interview with J.J. Taylor, who he would normally be working out at Boost Performance Training with Ray Bass, but with this quarantined edition, he's at home, like everybody else, trying to put in as much work as he can. I guess there's limitations what you can do at home because you don't have all the equipment and all that fancy stuff, but you can still put in the work. You can still keep yourself ready because he will be drafted, and sometime soon in the coming weeks, he will have a mini camp to go to in the NFL. So here is our exclusive interview with former Centennial High School running back, J.J. Taylor. And welcome back to a very special Inland Sports interview as we, again, our quarantined edition. We are not in the studio right now. We're doing it from my living room, but one of these guys, he's one of our favorites. We haven't heard from him in a while. It's been way too long, but we wanted to catch up with him because we're hoping to hear, and I know we will, we're going to hear his name in the NFL Draft coming up next week. It's former Centennial star J.J. Taylor joining us live on the show right now. And J.J., man, I know we're living in weird times right now, but you still must be pretty psyched with the NFL Draft coming up next week. How are you feeling about right about now?
I mean, I'm feeling pretty good. I'm excited for the process. I'm excited for the new journey that's up ahead for me. And like you said, it's very interesting. So, I mean, I can be one of many to say that I went through this during the NFL Draft with, several hundreds other people that are doing the same thing. So, pretty nice.
Well, JJ, let me ask you this. Let me kind of walk you through the last couple of weeks because I'm trying to figure out the timeline. I think you were at the combine, right? But did you have your pro day? Like, how much did you get in before the whole shutdown came?
So we did the training before the combine, went to the combine, and then literally, I want to say a week and a half, 2 weeks after the combine, everything was getting shut down, and that's when the whole outbreak really started, to where they started to tell us to stay in homes and things like that and started shutting everything down.
So what have you been able to do to kind of stay busy? Hey, Ray Bass is my guy at Boost Performance Training. I know you and Ray are tight. You're part of that Boost gang. But, what have you been able to do to just kind of keep your body in shape? Because you're going to get drafted and you're probably going to end up at a mini camp in, I don't know, a month or two. Like, football's going to start whether you're ready or not, right?
Most definitely. I just been at the house, going on runs in the morning. Haven't been able to really lift because I don't have any weights here at the house. So it's just been, body workouts, just straight body weight workouts, squats, sit-ups, chin-ups, push-ups, and a lot of lunges. So
Have you had a chance? I don't know. I saw Ray Bass was doing some stuff online, like hey, certain drills. Have you been in touch with him about just keeping your body right and staying in shape?
Most definitely. I had him email me a few workouts and stuff for me to do on my spare time, so I've been doing those. But then I've also gotten a lot of information and a lot of workouts from other coaches too. So I've been on it.
Well, JJ, I don't know how much you check out social media and Twitter, but one of my favorite guys to follow is he's a Fox Sports personality. His name's Matt Money Smith in Los Angeles, and he was retweeting some highlights of yours from the University of Arizona, and he was like, "Dude, he's like, I love this guy. He's a truck stick. Like you were just running guys over." I don't know if you saw it or not, but I was like, "Man, that's my guy. That's JJ. Man, I know him from Centennial, but." That's part of your game, right? I mean, you might not be the biggest guy in the world, but you'll run some dudes over if you have to.
Yes, sir. Most definitely. It's a contact sport, and you can't shy away from anything. So
when you went, hey JJ, let me ask you this: so when you went to the NFL Combine, I don't know what you measured out at, 5'6", 185, or wherever you came in at, but does it really matter at the end of the day? Like if you can go out there and run the football, that's what it matters, right?
I mean, that's what should matter. If you can play, you can play. And it doesn't matter if you're 7 feet tall or you're 5 feet tall. If you can make plays, then I feel like, opportunities should be given and credit should be, given to where it's due.
Well, you're part of a long lineage of great Centennial High School running backs, man. Like it's like tailback high school. At Centennial High School with all these great running backs. Have you had a chance to, stay in touch with Matt Logan or some of your teammates from those Centennial days?
Most definitely. I still keep in contact with most of my teammates from my senior year, a couple of teammates from, that were in the upper grad and lower grad, and then I see Matt Logan a lot, and I still keep in touch with him, so.
Have you thought about what it's going to be like when you finally hear your name called in the NFL draft? I know this year is going to be a lot different because all the general managers and the coaches are probably going to be like in their living rooms or at home. It's just going to be different, but you will hear your name. You will see it pop up on the little draft board and all that stuff. Have you thought about that moment yet? Because it's going to come next week.
I haven't even thought about it. It hasn't even hit me yet, really. I've been just, making my days count and haven't been thinking ahead, so. When the time comes, then that's probably when, the nerves and butterflies and things like that might kick in. But until then, I'm just chilling.
Well, before you get drafted by an NFL team, because I think in about a week or so you're going to have a new favorite NFL team. But growing up, was there a running back or an NFL team that you really liked?
Yeah, I mean, I've been a Chiefs fan for a minute. I used to watch LT all the time. YouTube, Barry Sanders, and then Jamal Charles, Darren Sproles, and that's about it. But
so there was a lot of great running backs, and I'm glad you brought up Darren Sproles because he was a guy who could do a lot of different things. You can catch the ball out of the backfield as well. I mean, do you feel like given the opportunity, you can pass protect, you can run the football, you can catch it out of the backfield? Do you feel like you're pretty versatile in that regard?
Yeah, most definitely. They had me do it at Arizona, and I feel like I did a real good job with that. And, I feel like if you can do it at the college level and you keep your head on straight and do what you're supposed to, you can do it in the NFL. What's
it like for your family? Are they starting to get excited? Are they starting to, get pretty stoked about next week in the NFL draft? Are they getting nervous? I mean, what's kind of the emotions?
We haven't really spoke about it yet. That hasn't been a topic. We've just really been more focused as a family is staying, healthy and protected and things like that, and just making it out of the situation that we're in, really. So it's been, no focus on the football, really.
Well, I know we are definitely living in some serious times right now, but the NFL draft, I think, is going to give a lot of us sports fans and football fans a break from all the seriousness in the world right now because we need something. We need some football, man. So we're excited for the draft, and I'm excited to see where your name's going to be called. Do you look at any of those draft boards or where you might go or what teams are interested? Do you get caught up in any of that?
No, I kind of – anything with my name in it, I kind of stay away from it, really. Not because I can't take criticism or things like that. It's just it's not my place to really focus on what good or what bad things people have to say. So I've just really been focusing on the things that I know that I got to focus on, and just being ready for my name to be called to go anywhere that, I have to go. So.
Well, JJ, man, I dig your style, dude. I like where your head's at right now, like going into the NFL draft. Again, we're living in some crazy times right now, but the NFL draft will be fun. We're looking forward to it, and we can't wait to hear your name called next week. So I appreciate your time, dude. I know you're a busy guy, even though you're stuck at home, but you still got stuff going on.
Yeah, got stuff going on for sure.
So. But best of luck, man. I do appreciate the time. And listen, when you make it to the NFL, don't big time me because I'm gonna come calling again. I want some interviews from you still.
Got you. Sounds like a plan. I'll be looking forward to it.
All right, that's JJ Taylor, former Centennial High School and of course University of Arizona running back here on the Inland Sports Show, getting ready for the NFL draft. And that was our exclusive interview with JJ Taylor, one of the great running backs to come out of Centennial High School. Good luck to JJ with the NFL draft come next week. I don't want to leave anybody out, but of course, Norco High School linebacker Troy Dye, who took his talents to the Oregon Ducks. He's a guy that's going to go very high in the NFL draft, so best of luck to Troy Dye, stud linebacker up in Eugene for so many years up there after Norco High School. And, man, a lot of Big 8 League guys. Don't forget about Blake Barnett. Yes, Blake Barnett, still out there, the former Santiago High School quarterback. Bounced around a little bit. He ended up at, I want to say it was South Florida, the Bulls, right? And he had ended up having a pretty good college career. He's also a guy that, if he doesn't get drafted, and I think he will, a later round guy, but if he does not get drafted, I think he'll be scooped up by some NFL team as an undrafted free agent. So best of luck, though, to all of our locals. In fact, we'll probably talk more NFL draft come next week because, again, it starts next Thursday, the first night of the NFL draft. So good luck to JJ and Troy and Blake and any guy from the Inland Empire trying to fulfill that dream of playing in the NFL. That's such a big deal. What a cool moment. Even though it's going to be a little bit different, it's going to feel different because of the coronavirus and the whole stay-at-home order that, you're just going to be at home with your immediate family and kind of celebrate with them. So it'll be a little bit different. No huge celebrations, but nonetheless, a dream coming true for these guys coming up. All right, we're going to take another break. When we come back, our guy Kono from the Inland Sports Team, bet you didn't know this, he actually helps, he produces a show for the Pac-12 Network. We're going to talk to Kono next, who also... I see him at KCal Rocks, 96.7 FM. He's also a producer behind the scenes and on-air personality. So Kono coming up next on the Inland Sports Show.
So with our school program, it's called BASS, the Boost Alternative School for Student Athletes. We've had our school for about 3 years now. We're going to be opening up enrollment for the 2020-2021 school year. And if you really want to get involved, it's all referral based. You either have to come speak with us directly, or if you know someone who's currently in the program. But it's a great program. It's all the meat and potatoes of just your rigorous academic program and a complete collegiate strength and speed development program as well. It's a real collegiate vibe. It challenges the kids. It's not an easy program by any means, but we've had a lot of growth with our student athletes as they move on to high school, whether they're going to a public school or a private school. It's a program that really prepares you.
You did it.
Not just academically, but physically.
I'm very happy with myself, actually.
Okay, hold on one second. See, so we still got a couple minutes. I'm playing some commercials right now. So how you doing?
I am doing okay. This being at home is killing me.
It's so weird, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm not used to it.
Yeah, it's just.
I would say the
Super-
one thing
super
that
bizarre, man.
we stress
I
more
used
than
to think I
anything
liked being a homebody
else is
until
service to our
now.
customer. Make sure that they're
Not so
taking
much.
care of whatever you can do to make sure that
The
order
only good
gets
thing
to
is
them
my
on
girlfriend
time,
cooks really well,
and it's
and
the
she's
right
really
quality
nice, so
and what they want.
gets me through the days.
That's not such a bad thing.
Nah.
I've been that way since 1976. That was my goal, to reach out to local sports programs, and it's grown from there, and we've been very, very fortunate. My grandson is right over here. He's working for us, and he's going to college right now, And that's exactly what my son did 20-some years ago, and it keeps on going, you know. And we have customers that come in the store that it's amazing. People that I haven't been here since I was a little kid, and I used to come in here all the time, and then now I'm bringing my son in here,
You can hear me fine?
or a grandpa that's bringing his grandson in here that came in here when we first opened back in '76. We just feel so fortunate to have been a part of this community and this Inland Empire for going into our 44th year now, and it's just been a blessing.
The Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Spoiled. Quick, quality oil change. Spoil yourself and your car at Spoiled. Kin Sporting Goods. They have all of your sporting gear needs, Letterman's jackets, and team uniforms. Boost Performance Training with Coach Ray Bass. Athletes of all levels and all sports are going to Boost Performance Training in Corona. Mike's Fitness Equipment. Check out the new storeroom on La Cadena. Quality fitness equipment at affordable prices. Mike's Fitness Equipment. And JoJo's Grill-A-Dog, located in the Mountain Grove Shopping Center in Redlands. Let's be frank, not all dogs are created equal. JoJo's Grill-A-Dog. And welcome back to the Inland Sports Show. It's Wednesday night. We started a little bit after 6 p.m. because, again, I don't have all the cool things that we normally have in the Mike's Fitness Equipment studio at Teen Vision TV 16. I'm on my own in my living room. I don't have all the cool toys. I really don't know what I'm doing, but we still get a show off the ground anyway. So big thanks to J.J. Taylor from the University of Arizona and Centennial High School for joining us on the show talking about the upcoming NFL Draft. We also had Cajon High School great Jaden Daniels talking about his sophomore year coming up at Arizona State. And speaking of Cajon High School greats, none other than Stephen Kono.
I did go to Cajon, yes.
Yeah. You know what? Truth be told, you've been kind of our Cajon High School football guy. Like you've probably seen more Cajon High School football games in the past season or so than I think most people on our team behind the scenes.
Yeah, and it's actually, I mean, having you send me out there, it's been a plus to see Cajon High School start from where we were at 10 years ago and then head through the Jaden Daniels years and then just taking off. So, yes, it's a good time going to Cajon and revisiting some old memories for sure.
Yeah, Cajon High School, man, they had such a great run with Jaden Daniels as the quarterback, 4-year starter out there for the Cowboys. But what I wanted to ask you, Kono, because you also work on a Pac-12 show, you guys must talk about Jaden Daniels. So first off, name drop. What's the name of the show? What's your role? Who are the hosts? Tell us all about it.
Yeah, I work for SiriusXM, the Pac-12 channel, 373. And yeah, it's all Pac-12 all day, every day. Even still, and Jaden Daniels' names get dropped daily because, you know, even though he's not in this year's NFL draft, which is next week, he's always at the top of everyone's mind when the word draft gets mentioned. So, yeah, I mean, our show is Pac-12 today. It's 3 to 6 Pacific time with Sean O'Connell and Jeff Schwartz. Sean O'Connell used to play for the University of Utah, and then Jeff Schwartz played for Oregon. He was a lineman, and he then went to play for the New York Giants for a few years. His brother has actually just won the Super Bowl, Mitchell Schwartz.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice. So, obviously, Jaden Daniels in Arizona State football, I'm sure that's a frequent topic on your guys' show. And when they do bring it up, do you think to yourself, man, I got to chime in here, man. I'm the producer. I got to get in here and talk about some Jaden Daniels.
Well, that is sometimes. I am kind of the go-to guy. One for the Inland Empire, which is all thanks to you. So I always name drop Inland Sports. I always name drop Pep. And I have a good background when watching Jaden Daniels for at least 3 years when he was in high school, and it's helped me out a lot. But Jaden Daniels plus Eno Benjamin plus Herm Edwards, I mean, ASU is just fun to talk about in general and going towards a great trajectory, I'll tell you.
Well, let me put you on the spot because this isn't our like normal polished show where everything's so structured. This is more just like a live conversation, like thinking out loud. So I'm thinking about local guys from the Inland Empire who were big time in Pac-12 football this past season. I had just mentioned the name Troy Dye, who's a linebacker for the University of Oregon. Off the top of your head, do you remember of any other Inland Empire guys that you would talk about on the Pac-12 show quite a bit?
This year, I can't think of too many. I mean, past ones, Kenny Clark still comes up. Demonte Casey wasn't in the Pac-12, San Diego State, but he comes up.
Yeah.
I cannot think. Bell? I cannot think of his first name. From Rancho Cucamonga, also ASU.
Okay.
And then...
I mean, because we had
too much on the spot, Pat. Too much on the spot.
So Kenny Clark was a UCLA guy, and I know. So the UCLA also has Lokani Toa Iloa and Langi Toa Iloa, a couple of linebackers. But I don't know how much. See, UCLA hasn't been very good, so I don't know how much UCLA football you get in the show.
Well, see, I'm a USC guy. So then Drake Jackson was, huge from Centennial, and from my perspective, USC, which I've been working on USC games for the past however long we've been in quarantine. So he's also always a guy that when his name comes up, I'm just like, I've seen him play. I know some background. Kind of the same thing with Jaden Daniels. It's like, I've seen him play. I know it's not just a fluke. This is he's just getting better and better, and he's never stopped since sophomore year of high school.
Dude, that's right, Drake, man. I forgot about him. Yeah, he had a huge freshman year at USC. He's definitely going to be. He's an NFL guy. He's got it written all over him.
Oh, absolutely. The guy from a freshman year. Explosive off the end, just tearing apart offensive lines. He's gonna. I wish we had more to football in action right now to see where everyone is at, but to know that he's coming back to USC and me as a USC fan and not getting certain takes that we wanted or certain hires that we wanted, we're very excited for him leading a defense with his aggression and how just dominant he is. He's very, pain first and let's go 110% and just he wrecks people, and that's fun to watch.
So normally this time of year, you guys, with the Pac-12 would be talking about probably spring football and maybe depth charts, like who's the number one quarterback or running back on a certain team. So what are you guys talking about right now? Like, what kind of content can you put out there to kind of push the season forward and still kind of get ready for the upcoming year?
Yeah, so usually our show is a 3-hour show, so from 3 to 6. Now we're down to, because of all this happening right now, we're down to like a 1-hour podcast type show. So we're really just highlighting NFL draft profiles. So given the draft is coming up next week, this week we did Anthony Gordon from Utah and Evan Weaver from Cal, the quarterbacks. But mainly just showing their stock and how well the Pac-12 has prepared them for the NFL. Other than that, we're doing our best to come up with anything, because at this point, 5 weeks into this, it's really even hard to get writers to come on to talk because they don't really have much to talk about. We've talked about it over and over. It's the same redundant content, so things that we're trying to stay away from. But the SiriusXM College has actually put up, we did the battle of the mascots, so like a bracket of mascots, and they had to vote on those. We're working on, currently our show is working on life after the Pac, so finding Pac-12 players and then seeing what they do. Maybe they didn't go pro, but they're a doctor, or maybe they're a professional broadcaster. So just trying to find them, track them down, and have them come on the show. But other than that, we're really right now staying focused on the NFL draft, and then the two just the main sports of basketball and football, the money drivers for us.
What about my guy JJ Taylor, who was just on the show, University of Arizona running back? He's going to be drafted. You guys talk much about him? Because he's such a great story, because he's not the biggest guy in the world. He's probably 5'6", but he's going to roll you over like a bowling ball, man. The guy is just super strong and just super aggressive. He just runs in a bad mood. Yeah,
I've definitely heard his name. I've definitely seen him. But right now, I couldn't tell. I've actually I'm an associate producer, which means basically when the show goes live, that's when I make sure everything runs. However, we're not in studio, so I have nothing to run. So our main producer, head producer, Dan Lynch, has taken the reins on that, and he is recording the shows and doing the shows. I'm doing still behind the scenes of editing games down for when we only have 2 main shows on our channel, the Pac-12 This Morning and Pac-12 Today, with live shows. And then we have like a coach's show, but all those are produced. So right now I'm just in the background editing old games down to fill weeks and weeks of content. So we have something to play aside from 2 live shows that we have running right now.
Hey, well, tell your guys on the show, like if they need to talk Inland Empire high school football stars, I'm their guy. Like JJ Taylor, Jaden Daniels, I'll bring it.
And this, I know, I have dropped your name, but just on the show, I need to do that because
I got nothing better to do.
I love to be a sponge like you. I can watch these kids all day, and I'll pick up 1 or 2 names. They have to do something extremely spectacular, or I'm just like just watching sports, and I'm like, I know this is. I should just have Pep on speed dial, which is, I'm sure we're gonna get you on.
Well, Kono, we got to wrap this up, but I can't let you get away without asking you about your Houston Astros hat. I know you're a big Astros guy. Major League Baseball will start. When it will start, I'm not sure, but hopefully maybe in a month or so. But are you excited for another season being an Astros fan, or do you feel like you're like public enemy number 1 when it comes to everyone else?
I mean, I've never really had a problem with being public enemy number 1. I've always taken the Razor Ramon from WWF take, which just is say hello to the bad guy. So it kind of gives baseball like some drama. A lot of things people say baseball is boring. Well, one thing when the Astros gets mentioned, it's not boring. So whether we get hit all day long, we're going to be on the base, we're going to win another World Series, and that's all I have to say about that.
Well, Kono, dude, it was great seeing you. Like, not just hearing you, but seeing you on Skype. So you're working from home? You're just hunkered down at home and just staying inside?
Yep, hunkered down. They sent me home with a laptop, editing down games. Check out SiriusXM's college Twitter. I post audiograms from interviews that we have. We've had Mario Cristobal from Oregon. Yeah. We just had Eno Benjamin on. So I just, clip up some audio, a picture, post it up there, and hopefully people like it.
Let's see. So what's that Twitter handle? Do you know off the top of your head? I'm going to follow it right now.
It's just SiriusXM College.
SiriusXM College. All right. Got it. Well, Kono, take care, brother. It was good talking to you, and hopefully we can do this again soon, man. Hopefully we'll be talking about college football guys actually on the field, real Major League Baseball games, all that good stuff.
Yeah, and hopefully my Rolodex won't be as dusty, and then I can spit out some perfect facts that you need. Boom, boom, boom.
You're the man. Thanks, Kono.
Appreciate you, Pep. Have a good one, man.
All right, we'll be back with more Inland Sports Show right after this.
The Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Spoiled. Quick, quality oil change. Spoil yourself and your car at Spoiled. Kin Sporting Goods. They have all of your sporting gear needs, Letterman's jackets, and team uniforms. Boost Performance Training with Coach Ray Bass. Athletes of all levels and all sports are going to Boost Performance Training in Corona. Mike's Fitness Equipment. Check out the new storeroom on La Cadena. Quality fitness equipment at affordable prices. Mike's Fitness Equipment. And JoJo's Grill-A-Dog, located in the Mountain Grove Shopping Center in Redlands. Let's be frank, not all dogs are created equal. JoJo's Grill-A-Dog.
I'm busy. I got things to do. But I really need an oil change. I just need something fast and affordable. Well, I'm right off the 91 in Arlington. Let's go check out Spoiled. And they even got a 10-minute oil change special. I love it.
Sneakers up, lights reset on day 1.
Okay, looks like you're all set.
Have a good one.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Thanks for everything.
Spoiled. Quick, quality oil change right off the 91 freeway at Arlington.
The overtime program is really where it all started. So it's a complete off-season program where we do strength training, speed training, we do nutrition prepping. We offer our athletes supplements at the end. It has everything you need. We track progress, we track their weights, we do performance testing. It's really everything you need to prepare for your upcoming season. It's a great program. We've had a lot of great athletes get involved in it, and we're going to be rolling it out again this January. This is the most important part of the off season. You know, if you really need to get better, if you really need to improve, you got to put the time in. And I mean, to get stronger, to get faster, it takes time. Well, you can definitely visit our website at www.boosttrainingsystems.com. You can come check us out at 500 Harrington Street, Suite C1. Check out the Boost Performance Center, or you can contact us directly at 951-532-3903. Just send us a text.
Welcome back to the Mike's Fitness Equipment Studio. It's the Inland Sports Show.
And welcome back. Let's wrap things up on this Inland Sports Show. Big shout out to Stephen Kono. Again, he's a producer for the Pac-12 on Sirius Radio. And again, trying to find ways to find content right now, right? But the NFL draft is coming up. There's going to be a lot of Pac-12 guys, a lot of Pac-12 guys with Inland Empire roots that will likely be drafted, so a big thanks to Kono there. And finally, tonight, let's wrap it up like this. We always want to end on a good note. We try really hard to do that. And I appreciate everyone out there who has been sending in information on their seniors, their senior athletes. We've already done a couple. We'll do a couple more. I know we're probably going to be flooded and we can't get to them all with everyone submitting pictures and information, but I do want to give a special shout out to Roosevelt High School boys volleyball. They have been so diligent on social media to let Inland Sports stay up to date on the latest with them. So I definitely wanted to give the Mustangs a shout out. They were set up to have a big year. So, and these are the seniors that they've tweeted at us at Inland_sports. So I can't read all the information, but I want to give each of these guys a very quick shout out here on the show. This is Sean Barksdale. His quote is, "You're only as strong as your weakest link. Advice: practice is a place to get better. Don't be afraid to try new things." That is the great Sean Barksdale. All right, let me go to the next one. Bear with me here as we get through these pictures. Okay, next up from Roosevelt High School boys volleyball, we've got the great Justin Lee, and his favorite quote is, "Accept yourself, love yourself, and keep moving forward. If you want to fly, you have to give up what weighs you down. Life is about accepting the challenges along the way, choosing to keep moving forward, and savoring the journey." Hey, Justin, that's totally appropriate for the times that we're living in right now with the coronavirus. So thank you for that. Now let's go to Chance Gallardo, and let me pull up Chance's information here. I love the quotes, man. That's some of my favorite stuff right here. His quote is, "The best revenge is massive success." That's true, Chance. Don't try to get revenge on someone. Just go out there and be super successful, and that'll speak for itself, right? And his advice to future athletes, give 100%, and don't ever let someone make you second-guess yourself. Follow your passion in the face of adversity. Be humble off the court, not on the court. Chance, bringing some real heat here on the Inland Sports Show. And finally, let's see who we got here. I think I got one more. Let me see if I can get this one. Thomas Kindig, you're up next on the Senior Spotlight from the Roosevelt High School boys volleyball team. So let me pull up Thomas's information right here. Here it is. Favorite quote: "If you're not first, you're last." Hey, if you don't like Ricky Bobby, then there's something wrong with you, right? Great quote right there by Thomas. Let's see. His advice: play with no regret. He was a 3-year varsity starter, outside hitter for the Mustangs. And again, a shout out to all the seniors out there that did not get to finish their season. Man, I say I feel your pain, but to be honest, man, I don't know what it's like, man. You guys will be one of, if the only senior class to not be able to finish out your season. So I feel super, super bad for you guys. I can't even say I know what it feels like because, again, this is all so unprecedented. But congratulations on all of you guys out there at Roosevelt High School boys volleyball, and thank you to Coach for always keeping us up to date on social media. We do appreciate it, and it always goes noticed. We always we like to pass along whatever you guys want to tweet us. So we've done some baseball. We're going to be doing some softball shout outs. So this is something we want to continue doing here on the Inland Sports Show to recognize a lot of these senior athletes here in the Inland Empire who did not get a chance to finish out their prep careers. So shout out to the Mustangs. Let's see, we're going to wrap things up here. If you're watching us live on YouTube, thank you very much. What we're going to do is we're live on YouTube, and then we're tape delayed on Twitter. We're trying to spread out the audiences and see if this is going to work maybe a little bit better. It seems like a lot of people hang out on Twitter a little bit later in the evening. So we're just kind of experimenting. I guess this would be the time. We're quarantined. We're stuck at home. We're probably overthinking a lot of things if you're like me. So we're just trying to experiment with a couple things. So we're live on YouTube right now, and then we're gonna roll it out live again on Twitter a little bit later tonight, about 8 p.m. to see if the audience is any different. Big thanks to Stephen Kono, one of our best friends here on the Inland Sports Show. J.J. Taylor, Centennial High School running back and University of Arizona tailback, getting ready for the NFL draft, and the great Jaden Daniels, Cajon High School football star, rewrote the CIF Southern Section record book as he's getting ready for another season at Arizona State. Both very busy guys, and we very much appreciate their time to keep checking back in with the little old Inland Sports Show here in the IE. My name is Pep Fernandez. Be well, everyone out there. Please stay safe, be positive, and let's not share all the wrong information. Please, that's all I ask. Support one another, and we'll have sports very, very soon. God bless all you guys. We'll see you next week on the Inland Sports Show.